At guard, a 5-foot freshman, number 24, Andrea Dang. And a 5'10" freshman, number 33, Tegan Ort. The Mustangs are coached by Ashley Graham. And now let's meet the starting lineups for the Edmonds Woodway Warriors. At guard, a 5'7" junior, number 5, Maddie Burdette. At guard, a 5'10" senior, number 13, Natalie Casper. At post, a 5'10" senior, number 15, Claire Fife.
Wait. Hi, this is Hannah from Sports Live Network. Today we bring you the Edmonds Woodway Warriors versus the Redmond Mustangs in the Mountain Lake Terrace Holiday Hoop Showcase. Now here's Keith for the play-by-play.
Thank you, Hannah. Welcome to the Sound Live Sports Network broadcast. We'll bring in our compatriot Steve Willits here in just a moment to get things going. As we get set to announce these starting lineups, we'll start with the Redmond Mustangs, the game before us in the works in the doubleheader. And now it's the Edmonds Woodway Warriors with a record of 8-1. And they'll be playing the Redmond Mustangs 4-5 overall. The Mustangs 6th in the KingCo. They're, of course, in the 4A Crust Division, and they have a record of 2-4. Already a lot of league games throughout the KingCo being played. Edmonds Woodway tied for first in the Westco with that 3-0 record. And it is a loaded Westco conference. Mustangs start Sierra Craig, a 5'9" junior. Sawyer Forseth, a 5'7" senior. Morgan Grindell, a 5'10" senior. Andrea Dang, a freshman, 5 foot. And Tegan Ort, a 5'10" freshman. So 2 freshmen cracked the starting lineup for this Redmond Mustang squad.
Let's get ready for the first quarter.
And the starting lineup for the Edmonds Woodway Warriors. Maddie Burdette. Moni Jackson, who scoops up the opening tip. You've got Claire Fife, Natalie Casper, who got 28 points the other night. And there's a little one possession, one bucket. As we welcome in Steve Willits, the lone starter I have not yet to mention is super sophomore Missy Peterson, also out on the floor.
Super sophomore, that's quite the introduction. Missy likes that.
I'm sure she does. She certainly has had some stalwart games as a freshman and already as a sophomore. Really nice. A little scoop shot to the right side, and Moni Jackson's on the board, and it's 4-0.
Speaking of stalwart games, Moni's been having them all season long, as well as for her teammates. They've been getting up to starts like this fairly regularly, haven't they?
And it's mostly against a man-to-man defense, and some teams had trouble keeping up with the man-to-man. You can see why. It's because it's a track meet. It seems like any time the ball is out loose and can be a transition opportunity, Edmonds Woodway will push. And that's certainly evidence there. Redmond against the full court man-to-man pressure now. Actually more of a zone press as they get the ball in. Here is Andrea Dang. Dang now gives it right back to Craig, top of the key against the zone defense employed by the Warriors. And we'll see if Redmond can get an opening. There's a bit of a slash through the middle by Ort. Can't make it happen. Peterson up to Burdette. Right hand scoop, left it short. Rebound goes to Grindell. So the first trip we've seen that hasn't resulted in points for E-Dub. But they got a good look.
And even when they don't score, I mean, the way they move that ball around, if folks don't watch much girls basketball other than Edmonds Woodway, if you're an Edmonds Woodway fan, I think you take it for granted. We just did a basketball game here this morning before you came on the air. Mountain Lake Terrace versus Kingston. The score was 13-11 at halftime. I mean, watching Edmonds Woodway the way they do it, I mean, everything is just so point on. Nice three-point
shot. There's a three by Sawyer Forseth to crack the scoring for the Mustangs at 6:08 mark here in the first quarter. 4-3 E-Dub. A point lead. And there is a little up and over to Missy Peterson on a beautiful alley-oop from Moni Jackson.
Give and go, too. I mean, Missy had the ball, gave it back to Moni, and it was like the two of them knew what each other wanted. She just took off running towards the basket, and Moni hit her in stride.
Kind of lulled the Mustangs to sleep on that particular play. And now we've got a man back to a zone defense. And there's the skip pass, almost stolen away as Craig regroups. Craig now top of the key. 6 on the shot clock, left it short. Peterson goes in for the rebound, tips it back to herself along the end line, steps out of bounds. And just like that, Warriors had 3 in the lead on the lead dogs out in front of the pack, and it would have been a 3-on-1 break.
They were ready for that typical Warrior break, and you called her a super soft a few minutes ago. Peterson getting it done on the offensive side with the nice give and go and getting underneath the hoop, and then on defense, coming down with the board. Unfortunately, she just stepped out of bounds.
There's another 3 on the way. Left it short this time was Forseth, and now a foul call underneath. After great position by Grindell under the basket. Awaiting the rebound, that will go against Peterson. Her first got a bit behind the play and had to reach around. 6-3 Warriors, 5:24 to go first quarter. Here on the Sound Live Sports Network, kick back, 3 on the way by Craig, no good, and now another foul call. And this time it was for Grindell that went through Fife to get the basket. That'll be the first team foul, first personal foul on Grindell.
It looks as though Redmond has done their homework. They recognize that if they're going to have a chance to stay in this game, they're going to need to live and die by the 3, so to speak. They've already shot, 3 or 4 of them within the first 3 minutes of this game.
Well, if you watch that Blanchette game, and I talked to head coach Rebecca Wells before the ball game and talked a little bit about Blanchette and what that game meant and means now going forward, and the answer was we're trying to figure out who we are in the zone defense. There's a little backdoor inbound play. Goes out, an easy missed lay-in. Little bunny, Natalie Casper, found herself so wide open, I don't know if she knew what to do with herself.
And give Burdett a lot of credit on the inbound pass there, too. And once again, finds the open cut.
And that time, Peterson, the recipient of an easy backdoor lay-in on the inbound play. Again, back to this zone defense in full court. Warriors putting a lot of pressure on, and there was the opportunity there for the steal.
Nice job by Natalie. And you know what? The score is 8-3. It feels like it could almost be 14-3 already. I don't think Edmonds Woodway's playing their best basketball yet, and they're already up by 5.
Well, and we'll see how they play against the zone defense, and if they allow those 3-pointers to fall, and if they can keep shooting them. There's Forseth again with a 3. She's got the trigger. Has already hit 1 and had 2 really pretty good looks at another 2. There's a 2 ball on the way by Casper, and Natalie drops 1. And that's just a one-stop pop. That's hard to teach pro players to do. Make it look effortless from the short corner. There's a little short corner jump shot by Tegan Ort, the freshman.
Moni looking to push it right away.
And there's Claire Fife hard off the glass, but Peterson running down the lane is already out of bounds, had to come back in to try to save it, and we've got a timeout on the floor. We'll take one ourselves here on the Sound Live Sports Network, 10-5, the Edmonds Woodway on top of Redmond. Stick around.
Are you a whiz in filmmaking? Do you want to become extraordinary in filmmaking? Then come to Shoreline Community College and work with Shoreline Productions, where you will learn to transform your work in teams of working professionals and students to create enchanting effects such as green screen, text animation, and so much more. So come to Shoreline Community College, where you can mystify and dazzle in filmmaking.
Welcome back on the Sound Live Sports Network. Keith Neely, Steve Willits, courtside as the Edmonds Woodway Warriors lead the Redmond Mustangs by 5 on early going. 4:08 to go first quarter, and a 10-5 mark so far early on. And quickly under some pressure, Megan Egbert, who comes into the ballgame for the first time, loses the handle just in front of her bench. And E-Dub will get it back. And here comes Missy Peterson right to the cup with a little left hand or right hand spin job. And Peterson already 6 points on the early going here in the noon start time. Almost said evening. It felt like it.
We did the 10:30 game this morning, and I said evening I think twice, so I get it.
3:41 to go. Back into that little high pressure Looked like a zone defense, and now we got a walk by Hartman, who also comes into the ball game. A freshman loaded squad, the Mustangs are. Hartman also a freshman, 5'9". And here comes the seniors. It's senior to senior, Moni Jackson to Claire Fife, and Fife is fouled on the right-hand side. Moni, very good awareness. Probably could have taken that in with one of her signature scoop shots on that right-hand side.
Moni and Claire, two young ladies who've been playing together most of their lives. I think the one knows what the other one's doing at all times, and it showed on that play.
Ort with the foul call.
Missed that first free throw off the back iron.
Fife ended up with, I believe, 7 points in last night's ball game. Very well-rounded scoring as Claire splits the pair. And now will exit, giving way to Kate Woolley. Woolley, a 5'4" junior. And then a stolen away by Peterson. Here comes Moni Jackson, tried to wrap it around back to Peterson. Also had Woolley on the far side open. And may have chosen the more difficult of the two passes there.
We mentioned this yesterday that on any given, I was going to say any given night, I guess afternoon today, it seems like there's always a different warrior or two stepping up to make the big plays. Today so far, it's Missy. I mean, Missy's just coming to play. Moni travels.
And you knew she would set her jaw about 2 seconds into that possession that she was going to the rack. All she had to do was wait for the lane to clear, and as soon as she got it, she went right by Andrea Dang, the freshman. There's a backdoor pass, and out it goes, tipped away last by Hartman. And it looked like for a minute there, Ort was firmly on the right-hand block, had a good look at it, decided for whatever reason to turn around and try to fire one back into traffic to Hartman.
Give the Warriors a lot of credit on the hustle and give Moni a lot of credit. She started to reach for that ball and recognized that it was going to be tough to come down with it and that her team hadn't touched it last. She let it go out of bounds.
One of the first non-pressured possessions now into the backcourt. And Woolley showing her might as a defender inside the timeline. And now stolen away, here's Casper. Casper will cross up, go right to the cup. No, try to get it over that front part of the iron, and it is short. She's fouled, will go to the rack, or go to the line, rather. And this trip to the free throw line brought to you by our From the Stripe sponsor, Edmonds Sports Academy. 13-5. A Warrior lead. Casper drains the first of two.
Casper did not have numbers on that play. She was 1-on-2, and I think more often than not you tell young players not to pull back and wait for your team, but Casper's so good at creating. You let her go, and more often than not she's either going to make the basket or draw the foul, and that's exactly what she did, and they get 2 points out of it.
4 points for Casper on the day. And back to the full court pressure. You're going to get a steady dose of this if you're an Edmonds Woodway opponent this year. Now down into traffic, or able to get to the hoop. This time on the left-hand side, and you can hear head coach Ashley Graham yelling to her company that you're going to have to get back on defense against this Warrior group. Long skip pass to Casper, gathers, shoots, twine. Natalie Casper, boom, down it goes, and Casper is alive with the leading scorer so far leading all scorers with 7.
To go along with the 28 she had here yesterday, I think she kind of likes this gym.
Yeah, it's kind of stacking up that way. And now we've got a foul call as Hartman made a great drop step move in on Peterson on that left-hand side. And that'll be Peterson's second personal foul. Hartman, a freshman, 5'9", heads to the free throw line to shoot a pair. And banks are home.
A lot of banks on Saturdays are open until 1 or 2, right? So it's still early enough.
It is. We'll get you the substitutions off the bench for Redmond here in a moment. Got that one short, splits the pair, Fife with the rebound. Moni Jackson. Leah Bakken was the lone Warrior to check in. Sawyer Forseth check right back in, and there's a Natalie Casper 3. He almost yawned now.
When she gets a hot hand, you just have to kind of throw your arms up in the air and go, you know what, if she's open, it's going in.
There's the shot now by Muscat, who came into the ball game. Had a good look at it. Amila Muscat, a 5'8 freshman, a lot of freshman players, and you and I mentioned this in last night's game. You can just tell the physique difference between a freshman and a senior-laden team.
There's so many things.
Just a lot of stuff that you can pick out.
The physique, it's the skill set. A team like Edmonds Woodway that likes to press you as much as they do, not exactly an ideal matchup if you're a young team looking to still kind of find your way on the basketball court. And there it is again. Edmonds Woodway's defense is just completely stymieing this Mustangs team, much like they've done to all teams this year.
Katie Hartman with a nice move, got into the lane. There's a little push up with the left hand by Casper. She usually hits those, and now we've got a walk.
Edmonds basketball.
And Edmonds will get it back as the Warriors are able to force another turnover on Andrea Dang, the freshman point guard. Bakken, top side to Jackson, down in the corner to Casper. And now into that man-to-man. Here's Moni Jackson at the left-hand scoop. Got a little hard. Good defense drawing the double team there on the help side. And immediately turn it back over again. Here comes the crew. Out in the run, over to Fife. One bounce to the rack with the left hand. Can't get that to fall. Woolley with the rebound and has it ripped away. Foul call. 16.9 seconds to go first quarter. Edmonds Woodway up by 14, 20-6.
Give Woolley a lot of credit on that play. She was giving up 3 or 4 inches, and she still managed to come down with that rebound.
They say right now, pending the outcome of the conference here between the officials, the ball was on the floor, and Woolley was not shooting, and that will stand.
Fouls on Edmonds number 14, Kennedy
Kinnicker with her first personal foul, third team foul on the Mustangs. And they'll inbound over the top of everybody back in the corner to Woolley. Woolley backs up, trying to find Fife, and stolen away, but Fife just strong enough to get through the traffic to pick up the ball. Spinning out now to Woolley. She has 5 on the clock, the game clock, and now Moni Jackson will head in, 3 in the key on Fife. Jackson, I think, could have gotten to the rack. He was right there when they blew the whistle.
1.4 to go. That's going to be the end of it.
And that will be it after one period of play. 20-6. Edmonds Woodway not slowing down in the tournament. Right where they left off from a night ago. And they have the lead right now, 20-6 on the Redmond Mustangs. You're watching the Sound Live Sports Network. Back in a moment.
Are you a whiz in filmmaking? Do you want to become extraordinary in filmmaking? Then come to Shoreline Community College and work with Shoreline Productions, where you will learn to transform your work in teams of working professionals and students to create enchanting effects such as green screen, text animation, and so much more. So come to Shoreline Community College, where you can mystify and dazzle in filmmaking.
Welcome back on the Sound Live Sports Network. Edmonds Woodway. Duty calls. They step on the court and just play it about as consistent as any team will.
You and I were laughing at the break. It's 20-6 after the first quarter. They're almost slacking a little bit. They were playing Lakewood yesterday in this gym. 34-6 at the end of the first quarter.
And Redmond will inbound the ball now against a zone defense to start the opening possession. There's the Muscat shot. 3 on the way. Hit the bank. No. They've had some looks, and teams that are better shooters probably knock down 50% of those. They are pretty open looks against the zone. There's a Maddie Burdett shot. Step back at the free throw line. Counted. And Burdett, her first bucket of the evening. Early evening.
I thought you were coining a new phrase there a minute ago, but her name is actually Muscat, isn't it? It's not the Muscat shot. I like that.
No. And now into the ball game for the first time, another freshman, Cammie Kinnicker. So Redmond, a lot of ball players that are going to play for 4 years, and now we've got a walk as Missy Peterson able to get the block, kind of palm the ball against her hip just a little bit before she started off. It's hard when you get wide eyes and you got 4 players with your jersey colors out in front of you not to try to do something with it.
Ooh.
And now we've got a hold call as Casper able to get the loose ball. And that'll probably go against Muscott. That would be her first personal foul.
It's one way to stop Casper. If she gets a breakaway and step in there and take the foul, it beats the alternative, which is usually her laying it up with uncontested at the other end.
Andrea Dang with her first personal foul, the 6th team foul against the Mustangs. Ooh. There's a Moni reverse and a beauty.
Wow. Nice job by Peterson's finding Moni cutting to the basket, and Moni, she doesn't miss those very often either.
A lot of slashing, and they're patient in the half court. If the transition is not there for easy buckets, Edmonds Woodway showing some real patience at running the offense. There's a 3 ball, and she got another one. Sawyer Forseth right now is the offensive output that the Mustangs are going to have to look toward. Already 2 triples on the day, and Forseth with 6. And then comes back and plays some pretty good defense. Substitution is Grindell back into the ball game, along with Sierra Craig, both starters. Getting a little bit of a break. Down in the corner, Burdett sets on a long 3, buries it. Maddie Burdett, scoreless up until about 30 seconds ago, has already netted 5 here in the second quarter. 6:14 to go, 27-9, 18-point lead, and now we've got a foul call on Jackson as they squeeze Craig in the corner.
That's kind of Maddie's game, too. I mean, really, she's a pure shooter. When she gets rolling, it can come in bunches. And, you know, it wasn't bad enough if you're at Redmond, you were already down by 12 or 13 when Maddie was being held scoreless. And now that she's catching a hot hand, it's just another weapon for the Warriors.
There's a Forseth 3. That one just rims in and out, but another really nice look at things. Now backdoor pass to Craig underneath. Peterson rises for the rebound. Here she comes, fast break. Jackson on the left-hand side. Has 2 open on the right. Passes over to Casper. Look out, 3 ball on the way. No, in and out. Back iron, rebound, Mustangs. Kinnicker, the younger Kinnicker with the rebound. Pass out to Forseth. Got another really good look at. She hits 50% of those. And this one right into our table. As cameras, audio gear. He didn't lay out for that one.
I did not. You know, Moni, I think, was just, she's getting tired of passing to the same 3 or 4 girls over and over again.
And you were open.
She thought I was wide open, and she thought she'd throw me one. And unfortunately for her, I don't have quite the same hands as Natalie Casper or one of her teammates, and ball went a little awry.
Now that, and you're sitting out of bounds. Also, ill-advised pass. Kinnicker got in deep against the zone and is fouled. We'll head to the free throw line.
I think Moni also recognized that I wasn't doing much over here, and she wanted me to do a little extra work. I have to fix this camera now that got adjusted by the loose ball.
Claire Fife tagged with a foul. Keitra Jones into the ball game for the first time, a 5'7" senior. Will replace Peterson. Peterson with 6 points and 2 fouls will exit. Kinnicker now with the second of 2 free throws. And that went off. Keitra Jones with the rebound. So 2 missed free throws by Kinnicker. And also now Allie Browning taking a stab at the offensive end of the court. Picked up a pivot foot. Traveled with the basketball. And now Redmond will go back on offense. And then the zone pulled back behind half court. Craig brings the ball up. Inbound pass now to Grindell to start the left-hand side of the offense. Here's the danger for the Mustangs, the shooter, Forseth. A long shot in the corner by Craig is short. Maddie Burdett with a rebound. Out on the run come the Warriors. Nobody picked up the dribble, and now Moni Jackson 3, no good. Rebound by Grindell. Head coach Graham wanting to push by the Stangs. Craig with it. Into the corner. Dribble drive, short corner, little push shot. It is about a 5-footer is short. Hartman couldn't get it to fall. Maddie Burdett, little cross up. Ooh. Jackson had it blocked for a second there and now knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Mustangs. But again, you're pushing 2-on-3s and 3-on-2s almost the entire ball game in transition if you're the Warriors. That another good example.
By the way, one of the things I enjoy watching when I watch this Warriors team, Maddie Burdett down low, she gives up so much height, yet she just has a knack for that ball, whether it's coming off of a rim or if it's an air ball. And we saw that the last 2 times down on defense. One time she went up and got a rebound over somebody 3 or 4 inches taller than her. Then the second time she just anticipated the air ball better than anybody else. She wasn't even the closest person to the ball initially, yet she still comes away with it.
Maddie Burdett now anchoring the right-hand post on the zone, and she's guarding Kate Henderson, who's 5'9". Maddie Burdett 5'7", so you've given up 2 inches there, but Maddie Burdett absolutely capable. And head coach Rebecca Wells is not opposed to running players down there if she thinks they've got the muscles. Out to Browning, to the right hand, no good, and foul will go to the free throw line. Browning pushed to the deck by Grindell, which will be her second personal foul. And it'll be bonus from here on out for the Warriors. 7th team foul.
Fouls on Redmond, number 21, Morgan Grindell, her second personal.
Browning short on the first free throw.
Another trip to the line for the Edmonds Sports Academy too, right?
I think so. From the Stripe sponsor. And a lot of Edmonds Sports Academy kids on this EW roster. Makes a lot of sense. And Fife battles Hartman for a rebound in and out of her hands. And finally, Craig comes away with it for the Mustangs. Right hand yo-yo across the timeline now. We'll reverse, having Browning in that zone defense. Edmonds Woodway really going to work on the zone today. And so far, I have to say, they've left Forseth open, I think, more times than you would like. A 50% shooter out there can really make an impact on a ball game. Forseth has hit 2, but she's probably shot more like 10.
Yeah, they've gotten away with it a little bit. And I think even if she makes 1 or 2 more of those, you're still ahead by 15 or 20 points. And I think Edmonds Woodway recognizes that, and consequently, they're getting more turnovers than not.
Long lead pass in transition once again. This time a 1-on-3. Wisely Browning brings it back out. Casper to Woolley. Back to Casper. Casper and Peterson, the only starters left. And Peterson makes that little move through traffic. Looked like a walk in the park.
She has that move down, doesn't she? I mean, just shoulder of the key, spin move, and once she cut to the left, there was nobody there to defend her and faked everybody out and had an open layup.
Hartman, one bounce, right hand, no. On that left-hand side, tough to put that one up right-handed, but manages to get it off. And down into Casper. Casper has some daylight. There's a little spin move up with the right hand. He walked with a basketball. Substitutions is Egbert and Tang return for the Mustangs. Bakken returns for the Warriors. 2:36 to go in the half. And we'll stop that as the loose ball and errant ball goes in from the auxiliary court here at Mount Lake Terrace High School. Holiday Hoop Showcase. It's a fun one. What a fun couple of days in a gym.
Absolutely. You get 12 teams here over the course of two days, 11 teams for the full 2 days, and then obviously Kingston came in this morning. And not only varsity teams, but you have, like you mentioned, a JV game going on in the auxiliary gym, and there's games going on, I think, over at Briar Terrace Middle School for the C teams, and just a lot of basketball in the area, and just a great chance for these ladies to get to play games against teams they don't normally see.
Step back 3, Casper just left it short. Bakken able to keep it alive long enough for a Warrior rebound. 2:10 to go. Bakken almost handcuffed by a pass from Casper. 16 on the shot clock. Woolley backs up. Now she'll attack right side. Has it knocked away. Excellent defense on the help by Egbert. And now Ort will re-enter the lineup for the Mustangs, replacing Henderson. Just under 2 minutes to play here.
Shot clock's down to 6.
There's Bakken, gets a wheel into traffic underneath. Double team collapses on her, and there's a foul on the floor. Katie Hartman
Falls on Redmond's number 13.
Nice job by Bakken to recognize that she was able to draw that foul there. She didn't really have a good look at the basket, but I think she knew that with 3 large bodies standing up over her, if she went up strong, she could draw the contact and gets to go to the free throw line.
And Leah's trip to the free throw line brought to you by our From the Stripe sponsor, Edmonds Sports Academy. Bakken hits 1 of 2 and has her first point today. Long pass into the scores table.
Keeping John Clippard awake over there, running in the 30-second clock. Apparently John's hands aren't any better than mine. He wasn't able to come up with that either.
Warriors, 1, 2, 3, 4 for 8 from the free throw line tonight. And that's one of those things that you're going to want to improve on. And it's easy to become kind of lackadaisical in a day game when it's a time when you're not used to playing. There's a Missy Peterson shot. Probably had time to come back down with it before she pushed up that right-hand alley-oop shot. And another 3 left short. And the long pass off to Maddie Burdett.
Wow, nice play,
great
Maddie.
Awareness by Maddie, and both she and Peterson smiling there. They thought they had a gimme.
Maddie had a 1-on-2. She knew she didn't have the numbers. She also knew that she had a trailer, and she used it beautifully. Unfortunately, it just wasn't able to convert.
There's the shot by Ort. Peterson stands her up, makes it tough. There's the 2-ball, no good by Maddie Burdett. And it goes back to the Mustangs. Substitutions as Muscat will replace Egbert and Jones will replace Peterson for the Warriors. 53 seconds to go first half. And still putting pressure on at every opportunity are the Warriors. And that time, Dang able to just sneak free and get the ball into the offense. There's a turnaround jump shot, no good. And that time Leah Bakken had Ort just matched up as tall as can be. Underneath, Woolley, Jones, shot up, no.
Getting the good looks, though.
Yeah, Ort with the rip. Out the Muscat, left side. Stops and pops from 5 feet, missed it. This time Jones rebound with 12 seconds to go. Hartman in the corner to Dang and has that knocked away by Woolley out of bounds with 5.3 seconds to go. And a 32-9 lead. Dang now, right hand to left. Gets a stop behind the arc. Boom! Knocks that one home at the end of the first half. And the Stangs are in double digits, 32-12, 20-point Edmonds Woodway lead. We'll take a break here at the half. Warriors with the lead over the Redmond Mustangs. We'll be back in a moment.
Are you a whiz in filmmaking? Do you want to become extraordinary in filmmaking? Then come to Shoreline Community College and work with Shoreline Productions, where you will learn to transform your work in teams of working professionals and students to create enchanting effects such as green screen, text animation, and so much more. So come to Shoreline Community College, where you can mystify and dazzle in filmmaking.
People assume quality car insurance has to cost more. People assume too much. The truth is, drivers who switched to Allstate last year saved money and got better protection. So get the facts, because you know what they say about people who assume. They pay more for car insurance than you and me.
To see how much you can save on car insurance and much more, call Jeff Smar. Jeff's office serves many areas including Linwood, Edmonds, Bothell, and Mountlake Terrace. He can be reached at 425-949-7103 or jeffsmar@allstate.com.
Welcome back on the Sound Live Sports Network. 20-point game right now at the half. Edmonds Woodway over Redmond, 32-12. Leading all scorers, Natalie Casper with 10 points. For the Warriors, Missy Peterson right behind with 8 points. Maddie Burdett, a quick 5 there in that second quarter. Moni Jackson with 4. And then Keitra Jones with a deuce. And Claire Fife and Leah Bakken a free throw apiece. For the Mustangs, Sawyer Forseth with the 6 points on 2 triples. She leads all the scoring for the Redmond Mustangs. And then you've got Andrea Dang with a 3 right before the buzzer there at the half. Tegan Ort with a deuce, and Katie Hartman put in a free throw. And that is your scoring, 12 points, splitting 2 6s across 2 quarters of play are the Mustangs, and really out-muscled and outrun so far through the first 16 minutes of basketball here at Mountain Lake Terrace. Edmonds Woodway pretty much came out the same way they came out last night against Lakewood, and that's running the basketball any chance they can possibly get, and it paid big dividends early, able to put up a 20 spot in that first quarter, and I can't imagine that philosophy changing any for Rebecca Wells.
Why would you change it? It works. And yeah, you mentioned, you and I were talking during the break, you substitute a few players out and the game changes a little bit, and certainly the strategy maybe doesn't quite the same, but when Edmonds Woodway has that starting 5 on the floor, we mentioned it earlier, they scored 20 points in the first quarter today, 34 yesterday in the first quarter. Inevitably they're going to come out with their starting lineup again in the third. The way they run that ball and the way they go in transition like that, I can't say it enough. I mean, I've watched a lot of girls basketball this year. I don't see another team out there that I've been able to watch that does it quite the same way. And it just looks so effortless. And I watch other teams try to do it, and it's just not the same. I mean, Moni throws that lead pass as good as anybody I've seen this year. And you throw in Missy and Natalie and some of the other players around her and Claire, and boy, I mean, once they get that thing rolling, it's downhill from there, and it's tough for teams to stop it. And here we are again at halftime with another 20-point lead.
And we are right here on the end of the scores table, pretty much snuggled up right next to the Redmond bench. Mm-hmm. And the entire time, Ashley Graham, the head coach for Redmond, is screaming, "Get back!" Even a lot of times before the ball has been rebounded. Her team will take a shot, and she's already screaming at players to get back, get back, get back, and that seems to be a constant. Well, she doesn't have a lot of choice. If you're not going to get at least 1 or 2 players back in transition, Edmonds Woodway is going to go right by you.
It would almost be fun if we had an isolated camera out here on the front court, or if you're at the game just to watch it, because almost every time the opposing team throws up a shot, 1 or 2 Edmonds Woodway players, they just have that confidence in the rest of their teammates to know that somebody's going to get that rebound. And almost every single time an Edmonds Woodway player will cross midcourt before another player will, and it's almost just, it's like a game to them. I mean, it's fun. I mean, they get the rebound, and immediately, rather than look to your outlet like you normally would, you have to look down 50 feet down the court because somebody might be open, and more often than not, they are. I mean, I would think this would be a fun team to play on. If
At
one
point in time, Missy Peterson gets whistled for a travel, and it was because she was so anxious to get rid of the basketball because she had 4 of her teammates out in front of her on the break. It was an easy, in the pros, that's a circus dunk waiting for you at the other end. You just couldn't get it out of her hip in order to get it down court, but all 5 of them had giant smiles when they came back after that turnover, because I think they are having a lot of fun.
It's I hate to use the term, it's a little bit of street ball. I mean, granted, obviously a lot more goes into it than that. It's not, if it were that easy, everybody would do it, but really it's not your stereotypical set up, bring the ball up slowly, just barely cross the 10-second line in time and then go into your offense. I mean, Edmonds Woodway, they get that ball, and it's, for us old-timers, it's kind of like watching Loyola Marymount men's team back in the early 90s when get that ball and let's see how quickly we can get it down to the other end. And why not? I mean, if you can beat the other team down there, why play 5-on-5 when you can get 3-on-2 or 2-on-1, right? I mean, you want numbers and you want that advantage, and Edmonds Woodway does a nice job of setting themselves up to where they can do that.
The run-and-gun offense is the philosophy of this Warrior team, and they've got a couple of teams ahead of them that like to do similar things in the Linwood Royals and the Glacier Peak Grizzlies. Both teams not slacking for athletes and not lacking for speed.
No, we can't say that enough either. Those 4 games coming up right after the new year. Enjoy the 20-point victory while you can, or the 20-point halftime lead while you can tonight, because between Glacier Peak, Linwood, like you said, both of those two teams with athletes that might be able to match this Edmonds Woodway team. You've got an Arlington team that's going to get a little more physical with them, and you've got a Shorecrest team that has a couple of great stud athletes themselves. This is good practice for Edmonds Woodway right now. Why not hone your game up a little bit, make sure that you're executing well, because when you get to those games, every single possession is going to matter, and it could be the difference between winning a conference game and losing a game. And from what we've seen the last couple days here at the Terraceum and Mount Lake Terrace, Edmonds Woodway's rolling right now.
And you've got to make sure the number one going through the holidays is don't get hurt.
Yeah, and quite frankly, before we get away from the topic, you and I just spent a few minutes talking about the Edmonds Woodway offense. Give a lot of kudos to their defense today. I mean, it's Redmond has 12 points for a reason right now. It's not that they're necessarily missing shots. Edmonds Woodway is doing a great job of running that zone, trapping when they need to.
Each shot is contested.
Absolutely, and quite frankly, when the shots are missed, they're not giving Redmond a lot of second chances. There aren't very many offensive boards, and you're not getting those second, third opportunities. You get one shot off, and then Edmonds Woodway is going to rebound it and run you down to the other end. And 12 points on the board in one half. I mean, that's something you tip your cap to the defense for, not necessarily all offense. It's you don't see that very often in high school basketball, and that's what they're doing to Redmond right now.
32-12 at the half. We're going to take another quick break here on the Action Jackson halftime show and be back with the second half in just a moment. We'll take a 1 minute 30 break and be back here on the Sound Live Sports Network.
Clogged drain or other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Unclogging most internal drains for just $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com. If you've been wanting to get back in the game, whether it's basketball or just improving your fitness level, Edmonds Sports Academy is the place to go. Edmonds Sports Academy, believe in the power of play. Call them at 425-772-1901.
Welcome back. Action Jackson halftime report in the books, and we are set for a fresh 8 seconds on the clock to start the third quarter of play here on the Sound Live Sports Network. Edmonds Woodway 32-12 advantage so far through one half. Same starters that started the ball game start the second half here at Mount Lake Terrace High School. Redmond making it a little bit tough to inbound the ball against some high pressure man-to-man now as the Mustangs come out and try to pressure Maddie Burdett with a long three off the back iron. Peterson tips it to Fife. Fife gets her own rebound, puts it back up and in under some duress. A great fight for Claire Fife. She's got three.
Yeah, great fight to get her own rebound and great fight to get that ball from Peterson tip initially.
Now here come the Mustangs, three on the way. Drains it from the corner. Morgan Grindell got a good look at an early one and wasted no time. Moni Jackson loses it for a second now. A heavy pressure by Dang. And now a little right-hand scoop, offhand shot. Moni Jackson says enough.
Nice job. I don't know if you saw it, Keith, but Dang ran right into a brick wall. Fife set up a pick, a screen for Moni when she first came over the floor, and Dang's going to feel that one tomorrow.
Jackson, long lead pass now to Casper. Left hand, here we go again.
Looks easy, doesn't it? I don't think it would be easy if you and I were doing it, but these ladies.
I'll give you 2 trips easy. Trips 3, 4, 5, and the rest.
We'd be done.
Oh, we'd be finished. Foul call. We'll stop the play. But as advertised, right out of the opening gun of the second half.
Well, that's what got them here so far, and they're going right back to it and take 6 points within a minute 14. Edmonds Woodway being Edmonds Woodway.
Fife with the foul call, her second personal foul. And now Tegan Ort with a chance to split the pair here with this free throw. Hits that one. So already almost equaling their quarter output for any quarter. The Mustangs with 4. Now here comes Moni with a shot from long. Bomb on the kick out by Casper. Peterson with the offensive rebound, and put back is foul. Anchored that backside rebound. The only jersey there for the Warriors. You had Casper already running on the near side, Jackson running on the far side.
Nice free
she
throw
gets
shot.
that rebound. You had 2 wide open 3 balls awaiting.
That's a nice luxury to have. If you're not going to make the 3, you know that there's a very good chance your team's going to get the offensive board. Another trip there for the Edmonds Sports Academy to the line.
Peterson splits the pair. Still 50% from the free throw line for the Warriors. They're going to have to better that here in league. Long shot. Here comes the runners. Jackson back to Peterson. Alley-oop. Drops it home.
Wow.
That's impressive on the run.
Peterson with a big smile on her face. I think she knows that she didn't give Moni the greatest of passes initially. She threw it a little behind her. Moni, wow.
Moni picks the pocket of Craig, right hand to the rack.
She's got about 2 or 3 of those a game, doesn't she? Moni just picking somebody right at the line.
Moni's got 8. And there's your score by Grindell. She's got 5 here in the half, in the quarter. And the Casper shot is short, but she's fouled. And another trip to the free throw line brought to you by our From the Stripe sponsor, Edmonds Sports Academy.
Fouls on the Mustangs, number 11, Sawyer Forsyth, her second personal.
It's the first of 2. Casper 3 for 3 on the day from the free throw line. 13 points under her belt. Make that 14. 45-17 with 5:46 to go. Third quarter. And stolen away now, Maddie Burdett up to Jackson, left hand.
Wow.
Just don't do anything but look forward if you're a Warrior player.
Great concentration by Burdett. As soon as she made contact, she knew it was coming. She dished it off to Moni really quick.
Ort's 3 ball is missed. Fife will dribble out of traffic up to Jackson. Now again, another break. This time, had a little crust on that one.
If Peterson were just about 16 or 17 inches
feet
taller,
tall.
I think she has that one. But great idea, though, for Casper. She knew she had Missy open and just overthrew her.
47-17 now. Dang down in the corner to Craig. And the bounce pass will find Ort. And back to Dang. That'll be a Peterson foul. It'll be her 3rd personal foul on the hold. The only Warrior in any sort of foul trouble.
Not that it matters at this point, but yeah, you're right. 47-17 lead. Another nice luxury to have when you're way out ahead. You're not too worried who has 3 fouls or 4 fouls or whatever.
And that ball tipped away, and finally Casper will come up with it. And now getting a little bit sloppy are the Warriors. And the game in general may be just a tad sloppier than either coach would like. Entering now for the Mustangs, Sawyer Forsyth re-enters. Also Kate Woolley and Leah Bakken.
I didn't catch what was going on over there, but when Missy Peterson ran to the bench, she and Coach Rebecca Wells had a little fun time with each other, both high-fiving with big, huge smiles on their faces. When you're winning like this, it can be fun. It should be fun. It's basketball, right?
Bakken had the alley-oop and is pushed out of bounds by Megan Egbert. That'll be her first personal foul.
Fouls on the Warriors, number 5, Megan Egbert. Your first personal.
And now almost every Warrior has a smile on their face. And why not? You're having a good time. You might as well get the chance.
It's the holidays. You're up by 30. You're not in school for a week, right? It's good to be a Warrior right now.
Grindell picks up her 3rd personal foul, and Casper continues her perfection at the free throw line now, 5 for 5. Make that 6 for 6. The only Warrior to be without a miss so far from the line.
It's kind of fitting that the sponsor for the line is the Edmonds Sports Academy, because I have a feeling a lot of these young ladies hone their skills while working with the Edmonds Sports Academy, isn't it?
I have a couple. And there's a three-pointer for Seth with her third triple of the day. 9 points. And Moni Jackson splits the C wide open and heads down a hole about as wide as a Mack truck could drive through.
Behind the back dribble to just leave her defender in the dust. And then when the defender, I think it was Dang, I wasn't paying attention, was trying to catch up, runs into Fife, who was waiting at the top of the circle here, just waiting to throw that pick one more time.
Backdoor entry pass on the inbound to Casper, and Casper will head to the free throw line. That foul again by Egbert. That's her second personal. And Casper misses her first. I wasn't going to say it that time.
The jinx?
The jinx is not on me. Splits the pair. That trip brought to you by Edmonds Sports Academy.
That was an Edmonds Sports Academy swish right there.
And now Dang has to bring it up against some heavy pressure by Jackson. Down in the corner it goes. Cross-court pass to Forseth. Has a look at a three. Steps in. Almost got it. Front iron, back iron it out. And now the fast break, not quite as crisp as we've seen in the past. Fife with an offensive rebound. Can't get that to fall. And then muscles up a foul. A mugging of Kennedy Kinnicker. And that will be Fife's third foul. Mad at herself for missing the easy one.
I think mad at herself for missing it, and I think also on the reach, and she realizes that she had a chance to get that ball potentially and didn't come up with it. But I like the fact that she threw her hands down in disgust and then realized I'm up by 30, and almost instantly the smile came back to her face.
There's the long three on the way. No. Offensive rebound back to Dang. She'll step into one back iron. No, another offensive rebound, this time Kinnicker. They'll give it right back to her. Now moving the ball very well against the offense or the defense of the Warriors. And that has to bring a bit of happiness to head coach Ashley Graham. They really work in the half court well against a good zone defense of the Warriors.
Did you mention that number 13 is a freshman?
A lot of freshmen. Dang's a freshman. There's freshman to freshman connection. Comes right back in and gets a rebound.
It's a nice nucleus for the future right there.
Here's Hartman. Has it stolen away and a foul call. This time Moni Jackson whistled for the foul. Her second. And some protest by Moni. Didn't think she had anything but ball.
I like Moni, just looks right at the official, waits for him to turn around and looks him right in the eye and says, how is that a block?
And now a long three on the way. Sawyer Forseth has 12 points on 4 3-pointers. And it's 50-23. And the zone defense that we talked about of the Edmonds Woodway Warriors may need some cinching up. We'll take a break on the Sound Live Sports Network. 50-23 Warriors over Mustangs.
Are you a whiz in filmmaking? Do you want to become extraordinary in filmmaking? Then come to Shoreline Community College and work with Shoreline Productions, where you will learn to transform your work in teams of working professionals and students to create enchanting effects such as green screen, text animation, and so much more. So come to Shoreline Community College, where you can mystify and dazzle in filmmaking.
The second of a doubleheader here at the Holiday Hoop Showcase at Mount Lake Terrace High School on the Sound Live Sports Network. Right now, the Edmonds Woodway Warriors large and in charge and in control. A kick out to Claire Fife. 3, no, back iron. 50-23 the score. Hartman with the rebound for the Mustangs. Redmond coming up from the King Co. Crest Division. 4A right there in the middle of the pack of the 4A King Co. At a record of 2-4. Yeah, nice move inside to challenge Claire Fife. And that will be Fife's fourth.
mentioned Redmond 2-4. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but certainly a storied program over the years. The Mustangs a regular down at the Tacoma Dome for years there.
Hartman hits the free throw, and Jones and Peterson will replace Bakken and Fife for the Warriors. And now Hartman back to the free throw line with 2:28 to go, third quarter. Buries a pair of free throws. She's got 3 points, all by way of the stripe. Kate Woolley now will bring the ball up and challenges Sawyer Forseth, who is able to pick it away for just a second. And Natalie Casper had the wide left lane and chose to take it after a bit of extra curricular steps there.
That indecisiveness that you see on a player's part every once in a while.
Moni Jackson comes in and then walks with the ball. Good hustle.
Great hustle.
Kind of got that shoulder-to-shoulder soccer tackle on Dang.
Something about those hands. Moni, like I mentioned earlier, 2 or 3 times a game she's going to pick somebody on a one-on-one situation, and it's a thing of beauty when she does it.
Wraparound pass right to Missy Peterson. Has Jackson out on the lead. They alley-oop, they'll touch pass, try to find Peterson again. That's a tough play.
How many timeouts do I have left?
I feel like Missy almost had eyes in the back of her head there. Kennecker was coming from her right. Missy at the very last second went from right hand to left hand just to keep it away from her.
We've got a timeout on the floor. Redmond will take a full timeout. We'll take a timeout ourselves here on the Sound Live Sports Network. 50-25. With 1:59 to go, second quarter. We'll be back.
Sound Live Sports Network production services are provided by the Broadcast Field Production Class, a CTE intra-district course. If you are a student in the Edmonds School District, you can be part of the exciting world of live sports production. Learn about broadcast announcing, broadcast engineering, and sports reporting while providing a valuable service to your community. Contact your school counselor today to find out more and sign up for Broadcast Field Productions.
To go, third quarter. Edmonds Woodway will inbound the ball with a 25-point lead. And a lot of starters still in the ball game. Only Keitra Jones and Kate Woolley in the ball game for the Warriors, and the runner is missed. Hartman with the rebound. The freshman has been impressive. I like the way Katie Hartman has been playing.
Yeah, I like her game. I mean, again, for a freshman, she's just fundamentally sound. She's got the size, which you can't coach, and does a nice job of getting her teammates involved, too.
15 seconds.
Dang now will give it to the backdoor pass. It was Hartman that had the look, trying to find the backdoor cutter of Megan Egbert. Browning re-enters.
Had the right idea, just couldn't quite execute it. And that's the type of thing you want from a player who's playing at the post up on top there on the shoulder. You want them to have those eyes open at all times and finding those backdoors, and Hartman's shown that she has that capability.
Woolley to Browning, now Peterson, and a foul called out top. And Peterson was going to head in. That foul will go against Kennedy Kinneker. Peterson, 1 for 2 from the free throw line, has 11 points tonight as she hits the first.
Good, here we go.
And Peterson's kind of been on the receiving end of some circus plays. That long, lean, athletic body, runs extremely well.
Well, and a few different times she's been on the receiving end after a give and go. She's kind of helped create the situation herself, and been very impressed with the way she's played today.
There's a Maddie Burdette step in front of a pass. Down to Browning. Right hand dribble to Peterson, stops. And the kick out. Now Rebecca Wells' team being much more patient in the half court. Here's Woolley, gets a screen from Jones and ran into a brick wall of Katie Hartman.
I think that was quite simply Woolley trying to create or draw a foul there. She knew she didn't have the play, but she thought if she could get enough contact. She even had a little smile on her face after she threw that up. She knew that ball wasn't going to go in, but did not get the call.
Ort runs into traffic And Jones kind of catches an elbow to the jaw of Tegan Ort. That should go against Keitra Jones, her first. No, that foul goes against Kate Woolley, her second personal.
Still have 46 seconds to go here in the third quarter, and both teams are now into the bonus already, both at 7 fouls for the quarter.
Ort with 3 points tonight, steps to the free throw line to shoot 2.
And they're going to have a free throw shooter come in for her. She's got a bloody lip, and that's going to require her to go to the bench.
So slapping 5 now, and they'll get the trying to figure out how they work that substitution. And you can elicit a timeout from your quiver of 5 if you'd like, or you can just let an alternate player shoot, and that's what the Mustangs will do. Morgan Grindell will come in to shoot 2 and can't get either one to fall. At 40 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Edmonds Woodway up 50-25. That score has stood for quite some time now.
Feels like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
An interesting situation going on over here as well. I'm noticing that Redmond does not have an assistant coach on the bench, so a couple of the players are helping Ort with her bloody lip right now, trying to help patch her up a little bit and scrambling into their equipment bag to see what they can find for her to remedy the situation.
Maddie Burdett with the free throw and a 1-on-1 bonus opportunity brought to you by our From the Stripe sponsor, Edmonds Sports Academy, fittingly enough.
You think Maddie Burdett went through the Edmonds Sports Academy?
I imagine she's played once or twice at that gym.
I have a feeling she knows a thing or two about that.
Runs the Sports Academy, and Maddie, one of the shining stars. Played a lot of basketball in her short career, and there is a shot played all the way since as a freshman starting. That shot by Morgan Grindell, and she's got 7 points. Burdett, a shooter, pure and simple, but she does more than that. She's got a very good basketball IQ, knows where she is on the court at all times, plays bigger than she would seem to play.
I mean, you can make the argument that she might be the best rebounder on the team.
Yeah, and she probably right now is the second biggest rebounder besides Missy Peterson. There's a long shot, and there's your...
As if on cue, right?
Yeah, that's right. Cue the rebound and the putback by Missy Peterson. And this one, as far as the third quarter goes, 54-27. Come back for the final stanza in just a moment on the Sound Live Sports Network.
People assume quality car insurance has to cost more. People assume too much. The truth is, drivers who switched to Allstate last year saved money and got better protection. So get the facts, because you know what they say about people who assume. They pay more for car insurance than you and me.
To see how much you can save on car insurance and much more, call Jeff Smar. Jeff's office serves many areas including Linwood, Edmonds, Bothell, and Mountlake Terrace. He can be reached at 425-949-7103 or jeffsmar@allstate.com.
Back at Mountlake Terrace High School, the Holiday Hoops Showcase. The second game of the day, Edmonds, Woodway, and Redmond. E-Dub with the lead, 54-27 as we start quarter number 4. And Redmond putting together a little better ball movement. There's your example right there as Morgan Grindell has 9 points, all here in the second half.
A team that only had 12 in the first half total, 15 in the third quarter, and they come out and get another 2 right off the bat.
There's Jackson. That was a little Euro step with the right hand, if you can call it even that.
Well put.
Here comes Dang. Kick out now, 3. Grindell buries another one. And now you're going to have to at least be court aware of where Morgan Grindell is. The senior has put some points up, and there's the travel by Missy Peterson.
Missy gets style points, so going to the ground, she just threw it up and got it to go.
12 points for Morgan Grindell, all happening here in the second half. And 54-32. Boy, you keep shooting that way, who knows what?
Could make it interesting, right? Like you mentioned, she's the hot hand. She has 12 of their 20 points in the half, so she's outscored her teammates as a whole. I think if you're Edmonds Woodway, you have to be aware of that.
And now Edmonds Woodway has all 5 starters back in the ball game. Here's the kick out to Casper. Now to Fife, down in the corner to Burdett. Step back 3, in and out. Peterson challenges for the rebound, as does Fife. Now Jackson with it. She'll head in with the left hand and then just push that thing up. Not entirely sure what that was, but it froze everybody, including the broadcasting team.
Call it an ankle breaker, isn't it? She just put her right off of her feet.
There's another long shot, no good. Fife is fouled on the rebound by Hartman. It'll be the second on Hartman.
1-1. We got a box out.
Fife is doing a nice job down low, both on both offense and defense today. And saw that in the last 30 seconds here. On the one end, she gets an offensive board just by having body position, and then on the other side here, she draws a foul.
Checking in, Cammie Kinneker, the freshman, replacing freshman Megan Egbert. The turnstile of freshman players off the bench for the Mustangs. 1-on-1, no good. Fife.
Call for it, Sierra, bring it up. X.
1 for 3 from the free throw line today. That one, her only point. Although she's played very good defense at stopping some interior drives by the Mustangs. Kinneker, kick out pass, and an expert shot now on the left-hand side by Grindell, who has had the hot hand. She's fouled, will go to the free throw line, and this may be, well, it looked like it might have been on Fife underneath, but they call Maddie Burdett with the foul. And the free throw by Grindell.
You mentioned a minute ago, Fife with only 1 point. On a team like this, when the offense is already up and rolling, you need role players, and she's certainly played her role today.
Long pass now up to Casper. Had Grindell hit that free throw, it had been a 10-point ball game. And that seems
20-point ball game.
Excuse me, 20-point ball game, which just seemed crazy after the first half.
Well, especially when the first quarter was, 20-6, and it looked like it could have almost even been worse. Redmond, give them credit for the last 16 minutes. They've played fairly even with Edmonds Woodway.
Trip to the free throw line by Casper, brought to you by our friends at the Edmonds Sports Academy.
Sierra has it out of bounds.
Hits the free throw and scoots the second one all along the iron.
Free throws. Let's make them.
And now a foul call, and Maddie Burdett trying to find some advantage underneath to get the rebound.
Yeah, when you're already giving up
second.
When you're giving up 2 or 3 inches, the last thing you want to do is go over the back of your opponent. And that's exactly what Maddie did, and she didn't get away with it that time.
Nope. And Kinneker pulls the string on the free throw and gets teammate Hartman off the sideline.
What could you do but smile? Hartman even knew it, and she's laughing as she looked at her teammate and said, "My bad."
Timeout on the floor. A full timeout. We will take one ourselves here on the Sound Live Sports Network. 55-33, Warriors on top by 22.
Hey sports fans, do you want to know when and where your favorite teams in the West Coast Conference are playing? Who won the game last night and what the current standings are? Well, it's easy to find out on westcoathletics.com. The information is entered by athletic directors and coaches, so you know it's accurate and up to date, making westcoathletics.com the place to view official scores, schedules, standings, and photos for all the schools and all the sports in the West Coast Conference. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook and check out westcoathletics.com, the official website of the West Coast Conference.
$13 points for senior starter Morgan Grindell for the Mustangs. And she's been shining star so far here in the second half and made things a little interesting, at least keeping pace with this high-powered octane offense of the Warriors.
Yeah, until she got going, they had really nothing going for them on the offensive side today, and I guess you could still make the argument that she's the only thing they do have going.
Maddie Burdett, ice-cold shooter, 18 feet just inside the arc. 57-33. There's the kick out, and we've got a 3 in the key violation on Cami Kinneker. As Tegan Ort, the freshman, steps in and replaces Hartman. And now the Warriors once again bringing their starters back in to try to work on some things. Can only imagine that's the case now with 5:15 after things have gotten a little sloppy. Head coach Rebecca Wells wants to make sure that they don't end the ball game this way and end on a high note.
Noticing on that last play, Muscott, the number 41, the freshman, as Moni gets a steal there.
And right to the rack goes Casper, draws the body. And we'll head to the free throw line.
See, the coach puts Muscott in and says, right off the bat, I want you to guard Moni Jackson full court. Try to stick with her one-on-one. And that doesn't usually work very well for most players. And I'm sure if you're a freshman playing back at point guard, it's not a very winnable situation for you.
You got to like the challenge.
Absolutely. Well, you'll get better for it, right? There's nowhere to go but down from there. You're not going to play very many point guards, if any, this year with her capabilities.
9 for 12 from the free throw line for Natalie Casper. Make that 9 for 13. Brought to you by Edmonds Sports Academy. And now having trouble against a full court press. The Edmonds Woodway just will not back off. And now a long shot, 3 on the way, no good. Peterson with a rip. Here comes the 1-on-2, 2-on-3. Peterson picks up her own pass via shortstop and then drops one in from 8 feet.
Not the way they drew it up, but when you're Edmonds Woodway, I guess it's even the bad plays end up going in your favor.
16 points for Peterson. And now Redmond just really struggling as a right-handed roll of the finger falls in for Casper. And we've got a timeout on the floor, a 30-second timeout. Ball games continue, even though Edmonds Sports Academy and the rest of the sponsorship will not get our assistance here at the Holiday Hoop Fest. The showcase will continue, and right after this one we got, let's see, what is it? It's got Renton and Lakewood. Inglemore, Monroe. Inglemore team's pretty good-looking team. Haven't watched them a little bit yesterday.
Team that I think is ranked second in the state right now at the 4A level. Now, granted, their best player, Struthers. I think that's her name, Struthers. She is not with the team this weekend. She's, I think, away on holiday with her family. But even without her, they looked awfully good yesterday. A very veteran-oriented team. A lot of seniors on that Inglemore squad.
Casper gets one to fall. A lot of filled-in circles on my stat sheet. She has been at the free throw line an awful lot. Natalie Casper, 63-33, the lead back to 30 points. And Maddie Burdett reach around will be her third personal foul with 4:06 to go. And we'll put Cami Kinneker, the freshman, at the free throw line. And if history tells you something on the line, you got to watch all the way through her to release here, because she'll give you 1 or 2 pump fakes before she lets it go. Misses the. She's 0 for 4 today from the line. 4:06 remain.
A little bit like a golfer's hitch, isn't it?
Yeah, and she just drew Amila Muscott off the line again, and there's a long pass to them. Moni Jackson finds Burdett a little too far under the basket, and now here's Peterson to Burdett. Why not?
Great
Didn't
pass.
get it the first time. Let's try it again.
Missy and Maddie laughing with each other on that one. I don't think she was expecting that pass, but it was beautiful.
And there's a nice look by Kinneker. 3:39 to go, and now you kind of question a little bit, perhaps, with a 30-point lead, you keep your starters in. And that's exactly now the bench will empty. You don't want to get anybody hurt.
No, and correct me if I'm wrong. I think you have this in front of you somewhere. I don't. I don't think Edmonds Woodway plays again until like January 7th. Is that correct?
That's exactly right.
So I think if this were any other situation where maybe if you had another game in 2 days or during the regular season when it's more or less you're playing that Wednesday, Friday type of a schedule, maybe you substitute a little bit earlier, but at the same time, these girls aren't going to see game action for over a week and a half now.
Against the zone now, Dang underneath to Ort. She'll spin in with her righty. Got it.
Good to see Ort back out there after getting the bloody lip a few minutes ago.
Ort with 5 points today. And now Browning struggling to bring the ball up against Craig. Finally recovers.
Let's go. Look for your shot.
Burdette got a wide open look. Steps back now. I'm not sure she had to. Probably could have just turned the corner and let the 8-footer go. 2:47 to go, 65-38. Long kick out. Ort 3 on the way, no. And still the subs are out to the races. Browning leading the into Keitra Jones.
Ooh,
and then a bullet pass into the brick wall along the baseline.
Good defense, good defense.
2:28 to go. Boys action starts Monday.
Overload, here we go.
And that'll be the next time you'll be able to watch the Sound Live Sports Network. Linwood and Mount Lake Terrace boys.
2 games on Monday, 2 games on Tuesday. The Linwood boys are playing at, 3 o'clock, I believe, on Monday, and Mount Lake Terrace plays West Seattle at 7 p.m., so we'll broadcast both of those games right here, and then depending on if those teams win or lose, they'll be playing again the very next day, not against each other, but in 2 separate games.
A lot of hoop. We're almost to the thick of things, the thick of the non-league play. The last of the tournaments and all the holiday festivities that so cram-packed with round ball.
And then it gets real.
And then it gets really real, especially for these young, I say young, they're a pretty well-seasoned group of Warriors. We talked about how tough that schedule right off the bat becomes. And you're going to find out who this team is in a hurry. There is the shot by Keitra Jones. She's got 4. A deuce in each half. 1:37 to go now.
January is going to be such a fun month. I mean, we talked about it during yesterday's broadcast too, but so many quality teams playing in Wesco and really quality teams in Wesco 3A South between Edmonds, Woodway, Linwood, and Glacier Peak. And again, don't count Shorecrest and Shorewood out either. It's every game's going to matter.
Yeah, look at the preseason coaches poll. Of course, the polls are just fun to talk about up until about this time of the year, and then really it kind of all goes out the door. As Jones misses a free throw. But a lot of the coaches have Edmonds Woodway in 3rd.
That was the preseason poll, yeah.
The preseason poll.
And I think, and they had Glacier Peak number 2, and those 2 teams haven't played each other yet. But Edmonds Woodway certainly making an argument here through the first month of the season that they belong in that conversation with Glacier Peak.
And it'll be interesting to see how either one of those teams match up against the Royals. Of course, 3rd in the state last year. And they only lost 2 players. Of course, 2 players that went on to play collegiately. And Jasmine Edwards went on to play at Central and is, I believe, their 2nd leading scorer and leads in minutes and assists. Also on the Wildcat squad, and then Grace Douglas went on to play at Whitworth. So 2 players that are impact players, but the fall off is not
if there is
not
one.
grand.
No, I mean, you think about it. You lose 2 players who are playing college ball, and you still might be the favorite to win the state. I think they are the favorite to win the state right now. I had a chance to watch. You and I have both watched Linwood quite a bit this year, and then I had a chance to watch Blanchette both in the Tacoma Dome back in March and then against Edmonds Woodway last week. And if you're asking me for my opinion, I don't even think it's that close right now. I think Linwood is the definite favorite to win the state. I mean, again, they have to go through the season still, but I think there's a drop-off after that, and then it's Blanchette, Edmonds Woodway, and some of those other schools. Crowded
3A.
And we didn't even talk about the North, where you've got Arlington and Stanwood and a few others that are looking to contend.
Nice little baseline move by Sierra Craig, the junior, with her first 2 points, coming with 51 seconds to go. And Natalie Casper's not her first points. I'm running out of room in my score sheet for Natalie Casper after 28 points last night. Comes into an early ball game today. 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 23 points.
And really a contrast in how she's getting there. Last, 5 3-pointers yesterday, and today it's
free throw line.
Go to the hoop and get to the free throw line. She can do it all.
Sierra Craig back to the line. Hits the first of 2. There's kind of a little burst of scoring out of the junior. 3 points and 2 trips. Not a bad job. Make that 4.
Just remind everybody you're going to have an interview with one of these players right after the game as well. So they
absolutely, our Sound Live Sports Network Player of the Game, and I think Natalie Casper just by default can't win it.
Yeah, she was just there yesterday. I think she's got some other good options though tonight. I mean, really,
do.
The way this team is playing, you can give that award to a few different players.
And I like the way Keitra Jones has come in off the bench and has thrown some energy.
She's playing hard right now.
And shoots the short corner 12-footer is long, and now that will be the end of the ball game. So while we tally up the totals here on a 72-44 win by the Edmonds Woodway Warriors over the Redmond Mustangs, we'll take a break and come back with our Sound Live Sports Network Player of the Ball game. 72-44, Warriors with the W.
Clogged drain or other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Unclogging most internal drains for just $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com. Sound Live Sports Network production services are provided by the Broadcast Field Production Class, a CTE intra-district course. If you are a student in the Edmonds School District, you can be part of the exciting world of live sports production. Learn about broadcast announcing, broadcast engineering, and sports reporting while providing a valuable service to your community. Contact your school counselor today to find out more and sign up for Broadcast Field Productions.
Mount Lake Terrace Holiday Hoop Showcase. Edmonds Woodway Warriors with the win, 72-44, and our Sound Live Sports Network Player of the Game, Missy Peterson, having 16 points, 8 points in the first half, 8 points in the second half. All pretty quiet points. Kind of unusual for you to score quietly and talk quietly. You look like you're having an awful lot of fun, though. There's a couple of alley-oop passes. You had a couple touch passes from Moni Jackson. You guys were running the court like lightning. Tell us a little bit about your transition.
Well, we're not a very big team, so our transition's one of the biggest parts of our game because we know we're a smaller team and we're really fast. So transition's one of the things we work on in practice the most because we're a quick team. So every time we get a rebound or our point guards, all our guards are running up the floor and we're just trying to move it because that's how we get a lot of our points.
At one point in time, I think you're up 30 points. Coach Wells still had the starters in. Were you working on something specific there toward the end of the ball game?
I think she just wanted us to kind of get it together because at the end we were kind of starting to get a little bit frustrated. Starters were getting a lot of fouls, so I think she just kind of wanted us 5 starters to get it together and figure things out.
You've got quite a long break. There's a bit of a lull now after this tournament before you start playing some really big teams, some teams that matter. You got a Linwood coming up, you got a Glacier Peak coming up, bang, bang. You got Arlington also right in there. How are you guys, what's the idea now going into this little bit of a lull to prepare for those big marquee teams?
Well, I mean, we got a lot of time in between for our next few league games and stuff. So, I mean, I don't know. I think we might have 6 practices until our next game, and we're going to try to put in a lot of work because we got 3-4 really tough games in a row coming up. So I think our coach is just going to, work us hard, get conditioning, work on our transition and our zone offenses, and pick up our defense in practice so we can, compete with these good teams.
You already played one pretty tough team, and it was your only loss of the season, the loss to Blanchette.
Yeah.
A lot of people have said that it was a winnable game for the Warriors. What's your mindset when you go in to play some of these big-time teams? Is it one of that you look to outgun them, outscore them? Is it one that you want to just sit back and see what the other team's going to offer first? What do you guys do? What do you do to prepare going in for those ball games?
Playing like these really good teams are like some of our favorite games. We love like the good competition and stuff. So like preparing for these games a lot. I mean, we try to change things up a lot of times on defense. We try to challenge them. If they're a really good driving team, we'll try to challenge them to beat us from the 3-point line. Or if they're a really good shooting team, we'll try to challenge them by scoring lay-ins on us. So I mean, depending on like who we're going to play, we'll see like what defense we're going to play, and we're always going to try to transition against every team because we're fast.
2 weeks' time, probably quite the shakeout in the West Coast South. Edmonds Woodway poised very high right now to make a difference in that West Coast South. Missy Peterson, our Edmonds Woodway player of the game here from the Sound Live Sports Network. Congratulations, 8 points in the first half, 8 points in the second half, total of 16. Had a couple of circus act alley-oop shots that fell, and a couple of smiles that came in right after that. Missy Peterson, our player of the game. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Edmonds Woodway takes the win, 72-44, and that'll wrap it up here for us on the Sound Live Sports Network. Thanks for being a part of our afternoon. The games continue on Monday, boys style. 7 o'clock is the first game, I believe. 3 o'clock is the first game, and that will be the Linwood boys playing. The follow-up will be on the doubleheader will be the Mount Lake Terrace Hawks at 7, and we hope you'll see you there in the gym or on the Sound Live Sports Network. Thanks much for being a part. Talk to you later.
Sound Live Sports Network production services are provided by the Broadcast Field Production Class, a CTE intra-district course. If you are a student in the Edmonds School District, you can be part of the exciting world of live sports production. Learn about broadcast announcing, broadcast engineering, and sports reporting while providing a valuable service to your community. Contact your school counselor today to find out more and sign up for Broadcast Field Productions.